Welcome everyone to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the new Supreme Court ruling of same-sex marriage now being legal across every state in the nation, and how they just can create their own amendments now, apparently. So let's jump into it. There's a point when you just get so discouraged and disappointed in what's going on that you don't even want to get out of bed in the morning. I wake up this morning to find this ruling, and I was not only upset about the ruling, but I was upset about how much Obama seems to be in love with this idea, which is just completely hypocritical on his part. It just goes to show how politicians will say whatever will make them look better in the eyes of the people. Just whatever. I mean, lying is just the way it is in Washington now, and there's nothing we can do about it. And flip-flopping is something that just everyone does. There needs to be a lot of changes to the way that this country is run. And Obama is just proof that all politicians, including himself, are just cowards. Cowards because they will not stand up for what they believe in, no matter what is said about them, and who will fold when pressure is put on them by a seemingly majority. The American Constitution, and in particular the 14th Amendment, has nothing in it that refers to marriage in any way. Marriage is not technically constitutional at all for either sex. And so, traditionally, as President Obama says, and you will see soon in this clip, marriage was formed by state law. This is another example of the Supreme Court and the federal government taking over everything. The states are supposed to have the power in this country. The Constitution gives the states the power over the federal government in most aspects of life. And the more that we continue to allow them, the federal government, to take over control, the less likelihood we have of ever getting our country back in tip-top form. Because whether you like to admit it or not, the way we are now and the way we were, 30 years ago, is not the same thing. And we are not better off than we were 30 years ago. In fact, I'd say we are the worst off that we've ever been as a country. So let's see what Obama has to say about marriage and same-sex marriage.
Define marriage.
I believe that marriage is the union between a man and a woman. For me as a Christian, it's also a sacred union. God's in the mix.
Would you support a constitutional amendment with that definition?
No, I would not.
Why not?
And because historically we have not defined marriage in our Constitution. It's been a matter of state law. That has been our tradition. Now, let's break it down. The reason that people think there needs to be a constitutional amendment, some people believe, is because of the concern that about same-sex marriage. I am not somebody who promotes same-sex marriage, but I do believe in civil unions. I do believe that we should not, that for gay partners to want to visit each other in a hospital, for the state to say, you know what, that's all right. I don't think in any way inhibits my core beliefs about what marriage are. I think my faith is strong enough and my marriage is strong enough that I can afford those civil rights to others, even if I have a different perspective or a different view.
Okay, how about this?
And now let's see what he has to say about the ruling today.
It's a victory for gay and lesbian couples who have fought so long for their basic civil rights. And this ruling is a victory for America. This decision affirms what millions of Americans already believe in their hearts. When all Americans are treated as equal, we are all more free. We are big and vast and diverse, a nation of people with different backgrounds and beliefs, different experiences and stories, but bound by our shared ideal that no matter who you are or what you look like, how you started off, or how and who you love, America's a place where you can write your own destiny. But today we can say, in no uncertain terms, that our union a little more perfect. America should be very proud.
Love is not something that's guaranteed nor protected by any law, no matter what gender you're attracted to. And the idea that love has somehow randomly become constitutional is... And so now, as Anthony Scalia, one of the Supreme Court justices, said, apparently, if you believed, like everyone has for the last 100+ years that the 14th Amendment has been out, that, there's nothing about marriage in it, and especially gay marriage, now those like me who disagree with this ruling are going to be seen as against the Constitution or as bigots, because the Constitution clearly states that anybody should be able to marry whoever they want. The 14th Amendment, Section 1, is the Privileges and Immunity Clause, and this is how it reads. All citizens born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Now I realize what people are saying, especially with that last sentence, equal protection of the laws. But again, marriage is not in that at all. Nowhere is it found in there or any other amendment of the Constitution. There is no marriage amendment. Marriage is defined by the states and state law, by the population in the states, by a vote on a law. The fact that the Supreme Court is the end all when it comes to any law that is put forth, and they can basically change any law, make any law, or enforce any law, is a complete overstep of their boundaries that they were given in the Constitution, and shows just how little the Supreme Court justices care about their actual position that they were given on the Supreme Court and can be bought and paid for by public opinion, money, and just pressure in general. It's not that gay marriage shouldn't be a thing, but love is not tangible, and it apparently cannot be controlled. If we continue down this path, whether you like to admit it or not, we will be able to love whoever or whatever you want. Just like you can change whatever or whoever you want. And there's no repercussions for doing so. In fact, you're praised for doing so. As I said, this is a complete overstep by the Supreme Court, and it is very discouraging to anyone who actually cares about the nation and not about people getting what they want for self-gratification.